Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Taylor here. Welcome back to Tech Talk About. I'm joined by Dom here, and today we're talking about mobile phones. Over to you, Dom.
Yeah, boy. You finally did an intro.
Don't say yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Right, anyway.
I tried to, but my voice is still breaking, even at 17. What the hell has gone on? What's happening?
Right. So, Dom, how do you want to start this?
I would like to start off with the phones that we both currently own, because I think that'd be a good place to start. Just a quick word. Obviously, we haven't been here, we haven't done one of these for ages, so sorry about that. It didn't take us 2 months. No, probably about 3 actually, to be honest. So yeah, we'll be back now, and this will be happening every other week, as normal as it was. And I think next time we'll probably be doing something like different pieces of tech that we own. We discussed that for episode, what was it, 5 or 6? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But for today we'll be talking about our phones, and I have the Moto G5, and Taylor, you have the...
I've got the Huawei Honor 8.
The very hard to pronounce first company name. How the fuck... Huawei, I keep on calling it Huawei.
Huawei.
Isn't it fucking Chinese or something?
It's meant to be Huawei. But yeah.
Cool.
They've, actually, I'll kickstart this, because they've just brought out a new version of I say they just brought it out. A couple of months ago, they brought out a new version of the Honor 8. Well, the Honor 8 Pro.
How pro is it, Taylor?
Well, but it doesn't vary too much from my phone. My phone's then got a 5.2-inch 1080p display, whereas the Honor 8 Pro has a 5.7-inch 1440p display.
Ah, fair enough.
Mine's also got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and I do believe... Yeah, the Honor 8 Pro either comes with 4 or 6 gigabytes of RAM, depending on which one you purchase, obviously. And it's all also to do with regions and things, but mine has basically, Huawei make their own processors, so mine, they're called Kirins. Mine has a high silicon Kirin 950. The one that's in the Huawei P9 is a 955. The one that's in the Honor 8 Pro is a 960.
And how does it match up to things like Snapdragons and that?
Well, I haven't, obviously, because I don't have the Pro, I can't benchmark that. But I benchmarked my phone using Geekbench, and that's, well, I don't have the scores to hand, but it beats a Galaxy S7, that's for sure. But let me have a look. I'm sure I have
It's not bad.
Oh no, it's
not
fantastic.
bad at all. And your phone does not catch on fire, so...
Well, yeah, true. But, yeah, my phone cost me £270, whereas what's an S7? 400 plus, I'd say?
Yeah, something like that. I think, well, the S8 is going to be released at around 689, so it was probably something like that.
Well, the S8's already out, but yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so for anyone who does actually know Geekbench and their numbers, my phone scored a very respectable 1,683 on the single core, and a 5,252 on the multi-score, which, as I said, excuse that, which, as I said, beats an S7, so half the price, same performance, basically.
Now, I'd like to ask you about one thing, because my phone's got it. It's not, the super fast charging, but my phone did come with a fast charger thing, which basically charges my phone up for a whole day of use within between 20-30 minutes. Have you got something like that as well?
Well, yeah, yours will probably use the Qualcomm Quick Charge one, whereas mine uses Huawei's own version of Quick Charge. Basically, I can charge my phone to 100% in about an hour and a half. Similar sort of thing, but yeah.
With battery life, my phone, if I'm using it with my Bluetooth headphones or earphones, and I'm watching videos or playing games with it, obviously it's going to run out the whole day, so I have to keep on charging it. So that's one downside for me, because like I'd rather have a phone that, yeah, it can still do all that, but it has some battery left at the end of the day, because I have to keep on charging it every day. But for like normal tasks, it's going to last you a good 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh, did you actually do it?
No.
What were you spraying?
Headphones to clean them.
Fair enough.
Because they're full of my eargears. What?
Eargears. Yeah, Taylor.
Yes.
I'm recording.
Oh, fuck. You've frozen as well.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We'll just carry on with the frozen screen. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Good. We'll just carry on like that then.
You'll have to do the intro, because I wouldn't know how to, so...
You've already done the intro. You just need to stop talking about fucking retarded people.
And what I mean is I don't know when to speak. There's a few little downsides to mine, which is the fact that, one of which is that it's glass on the front, glass on the back. Now that didn't bother me with my iPhone 4 and 4S back then. So, it was a pretty phone, this is a pretty phone as well. However, this only uses Gorilla Glass 3, which is... wow.
Isn't there like Gorilla Glass 6 out now or something ridiculous?
I think 5 is the highest at the moment. But anyway, yeah, so this is a bit behind, so it does scratch quite easily. But, wow. Screen protector and you're alright, but for, as I said, £270, what you don't I didn't expect a lot, and it's definitely outperformed what I expected.
Yeah, well, my phone's like 170, so it's like 100 quid less, and so you're not going to get the same performance, but there is a plus version of the Moto G5, and that's at 229.99. We've got all our prices from Caravan Warehouse. That's a phone dealer in the UK. I don't know whether they're American over into the UK or whether they're UK only or not.
Not a clue, to be honest.
Yeah, I have no clue, to be honest, either. So, but I'm just going to talk about cameras as well, because you mentioned about the dual cameras on yours. So, mine is only one sensor thingy, but it's 13 megapixels, which is not bad at all, considering my Sony Xperia M2, which was a good phone for my first proper smartphone, but it was like the lowest of the lows. And with Sony, if you're going to go with a Sony phone, you're going to have to spend quite big if you want any actual decent performance from it. The screen was 720p on that. This Moto G5 it's got 1080p screen, so that's great. I'm quite happy about that, because the Sony M2 actually took pictures in 1080p, but couldn't display them fully in 1080p. It just used this kind of sharpening technique instead to display on the phone, which I didn't like. It looked a bit weird. But luckily, Moto G5 takes pictures in 1080p and displays them at 1080p, because the screen is 1080p, and that's 41 ppi pixel density. Well, what about your screen and your camera? Well, you've already said about your camera, but... Yeah,
camera, as I said, 12 megapixels, both sensors, but mine has let's have a look at PPI for you. That's not payment protection insurance, might I?
Or when you
penis protection, anyway.
Penis protection.
Anyway. I'm trying to find it now. Oh, yeah, a 423 PPI.
Wait, you got to try and find it? What, your penis or the protection?
Since it's a 1080p display and it's 5.2 inches, it's 423 pixels per inch.
My display is 5 inches, and then the plus is 5.2.
Yeah. Now, as I mentioned before, there's the Huawei
before you move on,
okay,
are you moving on to a new phone?
I am.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about processor on my one.
Yeah.
and I don't know if you talked about storage or not. I've forgotten.
I didn't actually. Mine has 32 gigabytes built in and expandable storage, obviously.
Yeah, mine's got 16 gigabyte storage, and there is a 32 gigabyte storage model that you can get for storage on a phone, and then it's also got micro SD card slot, and the Plus is 32 or 64 with a micro SD card slot as well, which is very useful, because with the Sony Xperia M2, again, another problem with it was it had 8 gigabyte storage on the phone and micro SD card, but because Sony only allow you to move a couple of things onto your SD card, like photos and music, and that's literally it. Once you filled up the storage on your phone, then you can't move anything around either, which is very annoying, especially when the Android updates are quite heavy as well, and Sony load a ton of crap onto their phones as well, which is not useful.
That in fact is another thing I kind of like about my phone. It can be a drawback depending on whether you like iPhones or not, but it uses Emotion UI, which is basically Android but with an iPhone skin. It's very bizarre, but it's very lightweight. So
yeah, mine's kind of it runs off basically the Google Now launcher, so it's still normal Android, base Android. It's not customized or anything like the OnePlus or the Wiley Fox, but it runs off the Google Now launcher, which is nice because I ended up switching to that on my Sony as well. Because it's just easier to navigate, it's more useful, and yeah, having that low storage on the phone, I ended up having the newest, well actually it went up to Android 5, I think it was, and that's as far as it went, and then I also could only have like 2 more apps than were actually on the phone at the time, which was ridiculous, because when you consider the amount of things you can put on your phone now, it's stupid, really. I'm so glad I don't have to put up with that anymore. And plus, it was falling apart. Like the bit where you put your SD card in, like that snapped off. The bit where the sound came out because it was on the bottom, that came off. Oh my days! At least I didn't crack the screen. I've never actually, tell a lie.
That's a lie.
I did crack I did.
You stood on your phone.
Yeah, I stood on my phone getting changed for PE. I think it was with studs as well.
Yeah.
And I could still type because I could see half the screen and half of it not. And so I had to get that replaced. That was a bit. I wish I stepped on the second one, to be honest, and got this one sooner. But no, yeah, I'm glad I've got a lot better phone. The Moto G5, as I mentioned, the Sony ran on Android 5, and this one's running on Android 7 Nougat, which is a lot better. It should do, really, because it came out in like February or March this year, and I got it like 2 months later, which is really, really good. Yes, Apple, it does have a headphone jack, but then again, I wouldn't be too annoyed about not having headphone jack anyway, because my audio stuff is Bluetooth. I've got Bluetooth headphones, I've got Bluetooth earphones, I've got Bluetooth speaker. I don't really use the audio jack anymore.
Well, my phone has USB-C, so that can put audio through that. So
that's why yours is superior to mine. Because I'm only on micro USB. Yeah. Which it's a bit annoying, but I suppose that's the only way they could keep the cost down. Because Moto's phones, they're never over 200 unless it's a Plus. They're a bit like Wiley Fox. Their phones are never over 200 unless it's like a better version of their phone, like the Swift 2 Plus or the X. My processor is Qualcomm MSM 8937 Snapdragon 430. I don't know how that measures up at all.
430 is basically sort of, well, the 400 series is the lowest. Well, it's not the lowest, sorry, the lowest are like 200 series.
Yeah.
But that's sort of a mid-range.
Does your phone have camera on the front?
Yeah, 8 megapixels. Yeah. I've cracked it, I might add, but yeah.
You've now got a line across it.
Yeah, but oh well, it does the job still.
As I mentioned before, back one is 32 on the G5, and then it's 5 on the front
32?
camera. Not 32, 13. Why did I say 32? It's because I was looking at the memory. Yeah, so it's 13 megapixels on the back and 5 on the front. Does 1080p video at 30 frames per second, and it's also got a slow motion thing, which is cool. I think it's got a gyroscope in it as well. Can yours do that?
Yeah. I had to make a game for my college course, and I used the gyroscope in my phone to move a ball.
Nice.
It's quite cool.
Have you... didn't you say you've got a VR headset as well?
Yeah. Which, VR on a 1080p screen isn't the best idea, but...
No. You really need what you were talking about earlier with the
1440p or better, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it, it's just not going to look as good.
It's not as bad as you'd expect, but it's not phenomenal.
So, yeah, moving on from those ones, what are we talking about next? Because I've got a few, and you've got a few.
Well, I'm just going to quickly...
Do you want to carry on with the P10? Because you did try and move on with that one.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly brush over those. I mean, I've got to go shortly, so... But, yeah, as I said before... In fact, I might not have said this before, but there's a P10 there's a P10 Plus, basically.
P10 Plus.
The P10...
I didn't know that.
The only difference between them is the screen. The P10 has a 5.1 inch 1080p. P10 Plus is a 5.5 inch 1440p screen. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Storage, slightly different in the fact that you can get 6 gigs of RAM in the Plus with 128 gigs of storage, whereas the P10 is just 4 gigs RAM. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs. Yeah, that ain't bad.
Yeah, 3. I think there was a 4 gig model, but mine's just the lowest because it's the one Tesco was supplying because it's on a contract. Yeah.
But yeah, the P10 doesn't really vary too much. It's got a 20 megapixel camera on the back with an extra 12 megapixel one compared to the 212 on mine, which is alright.
What's the compared with the prices of the two, with the P10 and the P10 Plus? Is there really any point in jumping to the P10 Plus, or
it's about £100 difference?
Yeah.
I mean, for some reason, this website displays in euros, but it is also translating to about £100 difference.
Fair enough.
Which to me it makes sense because I do like bigger phones, but it's purely subjective.
Are you fully brushed over that one?
That's pretty much, yeah, there's not really much to talk about, really.
It's got decent video capabilities.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but
2160p at 30 frames per second, and then 1080p at 60 frames per second,
so
which
4K
isn't bad.
at 30 FPS, 1080p at 60. It's just the same as mine, essentially.
It's got high dynamic range. I mean, my camera's got high dynamic range, which would probably be a lot better at that 4K capability.
Every camera does nowadays, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really a lot to talk about, considering what it is.
I mean, it's a good phone. I suppose when you're getting into this kind of price range, you're going to have better camera and better storage, but that's about it. Faster phone. You're not really going to get much more. It's running latest version of Android. And just try. And yes, Apple again. This does have an audio jack. Right, so I'm gonna. You've done with Huawei. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's talk next about the phone that you love to hate. Well, the company now. Samsung Galaxy S8, their newest Galaxy S
overpriced
phone. Yeah, but you get that with Google and Apple as well. You're paying, and Sony. You pay for the name, really, not the phone.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
companies,
I suppose Sony
LG have pretty decent prices.
Yeah. Sony have kind of dropped their prices down because like the PS4 is selling like mad. That's their main thing, so they're focusing more on that. So they haven't really got a massive, big kind of phone that's competing with these, like the iPhone and the Google Pixel and that. But
they're all fashion phones, really. That's the problem.
Samsung Galaxy S8. Now, this one, compared to the others, this one has 1440 by 2960 pixels, 5.8 inch screen. That's not bad. 12 megapixels at 2160p. The RAM's only 1 gigabyte more than my RAM, 4 gigabyte RAM.
Same as mine. You don't really need more than that anyway.
No, but some phones come with 6, as you said. It's got the same as the last one. 4K video, 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames, high dynamic range, dual video. I don't know what that is. Do you know?
That's where I do believe it's where you can record like the back and also the front at the same time.
That's actually quite a cool feature.
I think.
If that's what it is, that'd be quite a cool feature. Geotagging, which is always useful for things like Instagram. Touch focus. I mean, most phones have that, don't they? Face detection, panorama. Even the entry level phones have panorama, and so you'd expect it on something like this, really, unless they didn't want it on their product. Then it's got a Snapdragon 835.
Yeah.
That's in the US and China. And it's got expandable storage up to 256 gigabytes, and it's also got internal memory of 64 gigabytes. Again, you'd expect that on something with this price. Super AMOLED capacitive touchscreen. 16 million colours. Multi-touch. Yeah. This one's got Gorilla Glass 5, as you mentioned. That's probably the highest one.
I think it is, yeah.
3D touch, home button only. I don't know what that is.
Because that's, 3D touch on an iPhone is where you can, it has like pressure sensitive, so if you press it really hard, it will do something then different to if you press it really lightly. That's
probably what it is.
I'd assume so.
Let me just have a look.
Actually, I think it might be the buttons under the screen, the home button is. You press the screen hard and it goes to the home. I don't know.
While I look that up, you go on to the G6.
It's not as powerful as the... oh, blimey, what? Gorilla Glass 3?
The 3D touch is exactly what he said.
Yeah. So G6, Gorilla Glass 3.
This is the LG G6, not to be confused with Motorola's G5 range and that.
Yeah. Gorilla Glass 3, 5.7 inch Quad HD display. That's 1440 by 2880. Pretty cool. Snapdragon 821.
This is when you're kind of going to the phones that are kind of better for things like VR, because of their better phone screens. I mean, that's crazy how I can get like that much detail on a phone screen, because like my laptop screen's only 720p and my TV's 1080p, and to have a better screen on your phone,
mine's Quad HD.
It's crazy.
But
8K.
So the cameras, it's got two 13 megapixels, but one of them's a wide angle lens.
This one looks like it's got a fingerprint sensor as well.
Yeah, on the back it's got a fingerprint sensor.
Yeah, mine's got one on the front.
Mine's on the back as well. So you're looking at a 5 megapixel front camera, as I said, two 13 megapixels on the back. It's interesting with 5 megapixels on the front. Mine's got 8 on the front. So
mine's got 5 on the front as well. What's the price for the LG G6?
I've lost it now.
I think you lost it ages ago.
Oh yeah. Right, SIM free, £650 on Coffin Warehouse.
Bloody hell. So I've got pretty much as good camera. I mean, obviously,
not megapixels
just the megapixels
don't mean everything.
Yeah, obviously that. But like the same megapixels, if you're not worried about all like the technicality of everything, then for 500, 400 quid less, you get pretty much the same. But then again, if you're going for something like this, you probably want something a bit faster, something with a better screen. And this one's got the same Gorilla Glass as yours as well. Gorilla Glass.
I must add that the front camera is also a wide-angle lens, 100 degrees.
That's not bad, actually, that.
Which is quite good for all your sort of group selfies and shit.
This one thing I don't like about SIM cards is the nano SIMs. And this one's got a nano... They're just tiny.
Mine has a nano SIM.
Yeah, but like...
It's just the chip. It's literally all a nano SIM is.
Yeah, I know, but like they're so tiny. Like, I know you're supposed to keep them in your phone, but like if you take it out for any reason, you drop it, that's going to go down a drain pretty quickly, or you can lose it very easily.
Yeah, true.
And obviously you're not going to take it out tons, but if you're someone that fiddles with things, then like...
I can't believe you sneaked at that.
I can't believe I did either. But like with my Sony Xperia, the reason why the thing snapped off, like the cover for my SIM card and my micro SD card, is because I was fiddling with it.
Yeah, but that's plastic, you have to remember. These ones are all made out of
But that meant that it was easily accessible. And so it kept on taking the SIM out, which was bloody annoying. This one's actually water resistant as well, up to 1 metre and 30 minutes. My phone hasn't got that. But then again, I'm not watching movies in the bath.
Wow, they're not called movies to you, are they?
What?
They're home videos.
Home videos?
Making a porn joke.
It really went really well. Wow, that joke was almost as good as my sex life.
Non-existent.
No, because the joke did exist.
Wow. The joke might have.
Not my sex life.
Yeah.
Is that all you want to talk about?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
G5? I mean, did you mention that it's got Snapdragon 821?
Yeah, an 821, which isn't the latest chip.
4GB RAM. Single SIM or dual SIM, which is good. For people that go abroad.
Mine's the same. It's usually, well, with mine, if you put a micro SD card in, you can't use 2 SIM cards.
No. Right, so moving on, we have got the Wiley Fox Swift 2, and now there's 3 versions of this, but we're just going to stick with the latest one, the X, because even it being the better one, the more expensive one, it's not even that expensive. It's only £219 on Wiley Fox's official website, which isn't bad, but then again, it's just basically an entry level. It's got the same Snapdragon 430 chipset as mine does. Then it's got expandable memory. It's got 32GB memory as well, and it's got 3GB of RAM, which is the same as mine. So this is a bit more expensive than mine, but then again, you can get the G5 Plus for £10 more than this, and it's slightly better than this. This one's got 16 megapixel primary camera and 8 megapixel front/secondary camera. It doesn't specify, I might have to go down into the specifications, but it's got full HD, so that's just 1080p, 5.2 inch screen. This one's actually got NFC and Android Pay. Now, I think you said something about you using that. I don't know whether
Yeah. Well, any phone with an NFC antenna can use it.
But my Sony phone did have NFC, because Sony, for some reason, they put NFC on everything, including my Sony speaker, which we might talk about in the next episode if we're doing that tech thing. But this Moto G5 and the G5 Plus does not come with NFC, so you cannot use it for Android Pay, unfortunately, if you are going to use that, or want to use that. This one's got Quick Charge 3.0. I don't know whether that's proper quick charging, or whether that's just like mine's
It's probably the Qualcomm one,
yeah. It's got fingerprint recognition, like mine. Dual SIM functionality, which is again useful for if you're going abroad. Gorilla Glass 3. 424 pixel density. So that's a bit lower than mine, but then again, my screen is 0.2 inches lower. If you look at the G5 Plus compared to that, let's have a look. It is 424 ppi, pixel density. So that's the same as the G5 Plus screen, and it's 10 quid less. So it uses a Samsung sensor for its camera. It's got USB Type-C, so it's the proper Qualcomm quick charge, which is good. So it's quick charge, but then again,
has it got a Qualcomm processor?
Yeah, it's got Qualcomm Snapdragon 430, like mine has. Which is a bit strange. So they probably could have put proper quick charging on the Moto G5, but they didn't.
Yeah,
just to keep the price down, probably. It's quite a slim phone. The weight's only 155 grams, so it's quite light. I mean, you want that with a phone. I mean, mine feels quite heavy. In fact, I've got my old phone next to me. The Sony M2 is considerably heavier than the Moto G5, and I've got a case on my G5 as well. I don't know. Is your phone quite light?
No, mine's very well. It is, but it's robust.
Fair enough.
Thin, light, but strong.
So that basically covers everything in there. Swift is quite good because even at a low price point, it's got the new Type-C, which most people are changing to. But if you're just a general person that wants a phone, I think many people are still on micro USB, and so it's not as it's mainstream with the media, but like I haven't got USB Type-C on anything. I don't personally see the point to change right now, because everything I've got is just USB micro, so I might as well just stick to that. Like, have you got any like USB Type-C ports on your PC or anything?
No.
No? And not on your phone?
Only on my phone and my charger.
Only on your phone. Yeah. If you're
they
like
they
super
came with a cable
whatever,
that
and
plugs
you've got
into my computer.
Yeah, if you've got everything, because it's the same USB on the other end.
Yeah, C to A.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was now, but you can do a lot more with it. With the screen, you can get your phone screen on your PC.
You can do that with micro USB.
Can you?
Yeah.
I have no clue how to do that. Right, so then we've done the OnePlus 5, yeah? We've done the Samsung, we've done the Motorola G5s and the Plus, we've done the Swift, we've done the P10, we've done the G6, and OnePlus. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. With the OnePlus 5, we forgot to talk about this. They have been caught cheating. Naughty. So, basically, caught cheating on multi-core benchmarks. And apparently they've done that before. That was just to achieve its chart-topping performance to make it look good, and obviously, if it looks good, then more people are going to talk about it, more people are going to buy it. But if you get caught cheating, people are going to think, oh, I might as well go spend my money somewhere else, because you don't want, obviously, someone that's providing your phone to be lying about one thing, because you never know how good your phone actually is if they're not telling the truth about one thing. So yeah, that's just a word of warning on the OnePlus. brand. Just do your research, that's all we're saying, and that's what we're here for as well. Google Pixel and Apple's iPhone 7. We might as well talk about those ones. They're top of the market, basically. So, yeah. You gonna do one, or am I gonna do both, or what?
Well, I've got to go shortly, so you can do them.
That doesn't change anything. So you got the Google Pixel. Obviously, that was supposed to be the best phone ever, and it's turned out that it's not really the best phone ever. It's basically Google's version of the iPhone. It looks pretty similar. It's got a fingerprint sensor on it. It doesn't have that weird button that Apple's iPhone has, though. But it looks like they've just put it on the back, essentially. This one looks like it's got... No, it's just one camera. 12 megapixel, up against the iPhone's 12 megapixel. That's both at 2160p. And so that's got HDR, panorama, geotagging, touch focus, face detection. And so does the iPhone 7. Geotagging, simultaneous 4K video, which is, and 8 megapixel image recording, which isn't bad. That's probably a major thing that Google's Pixel doesn't have, the 4K video. Actually, what is 2160p? What's that?
4K.
4K. That's at 30 frames per second. Okay, so just talking about seamless taking pictures and what, I don't know, switching between camera modes or whatever. So the Google Pixel doesn't seem to have that 3D touch display, but the Apple iPhone does, and so does the Samsung. So platform, iOS, it's 10.0.1, that's upgradable to 10.3.2, which I think is the latest one at the moment. No expandable storage, but you can get it in internal storage models of 32, 128 and 256. And also, I think that's gigabyte and 2GB RAM. That's weird. It's got 2GB of RAM, mine's got 3. Is that just a different... But the iPhone 7, 2GB of RAM.
That's because iOS runs a lot smoother.
Fair enough. 750 by 1334 pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? It's not even full 1080p.
It's a Retina display.
What's the difference?
No idea.
It's still not full 1080p. And it's quite a small screen, actually.
The Plus series are.
So it's 4.7 inch screen compared to Google Pixel's 5 inch screen, so around about the same with the cameras, with the screens. The Google Pixel actually has a better battery, I think. Yeah, it does. Google Pixel running on the newest version of Android 10.1. Gorilla Glass 4. It's got gyro. It's also got fingerprint, as I've mentioned on the back. Fast battery charging. Does this one have Type C? USB. Do you know that? I can't see it on here.
What? The iPhone?
USB Type C on the
Pixel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah, it's got Type C, so that's going to be proper fast charging as well. Of course, Apple use their own Lightning port, which is basically used for everything now. It's a bit silly that this is the whole debate, isn't it, with the audio jack? Because you can get this adapter, but it means you have to have like tens of thousands of wires running off your Lightning port just to get like a splitter, so you can charge and listen. I've never once
charged my phone whilst listening to music.
I don't know why you haven't. I think most people do.
I don't see a point in it. You
might want to listen to music and then... I don't know. I suppose most people do have a PC, but like...
Unless you got Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Use that.
Do you ever not, like, charge your phone using your portable charger and listen to music at the same time?
No.
No?
No.
No.
My phone always has loads of power in it.
That's decent. It shows you're actually prepared for going out the house. I did say that we were going to talk about the Nokia 3210, but unfortunately I could not find it, and so... But talking about Nokia, they are coming back,
it's called
aren't
the
they?
3310 you meant.
No, like the old one.
Yeah.
This... Well, it's 3210, the old one.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Nokia 3210.
Well, there's two versions.
Yeah, my dad had a Nokia 3210.
Well, they remade the
3310.
3310.
3310. Yeah, this was recently announced, actually. Why we didn't look at this? Why didn't we look at this? Alright, so it's basically the same kind of look of a Nokia. It's not going to be a massive iPhone and Google Pixel killer. It's got a fucking keypad, for goodness sake. It's got a really bad camera as well. Which, I mean, come on. If you're going to make a phone, I suppose it is only like 60 quid or something. It's got a decent battery life, but then again, when you're only running fucking snakes, then it's not going to be... I do miss playing a good old game of Snakes.
Yeah.
Snake was a good game. I used to play that on my Virgin... what was it? On my Virgin, yeah. On my, what was it? Lobster. It was like a flip phone. Lobster 365 or whatever. Oh, that was great. What was your first phone? What was your first phone?
Oh, was it a Motorola L6, I think? Yeah.
I can't even remember what mine was. It was like a £10 one from Woolworths. Mine was £10 from Woolworths. Remember that store? Flipping hell. I only had it because we were going on holiday. Just in case I got lost. That's the only reason I got a phone. It was, what was it? I'm trying to think what it was now. Oh, if I find it, I'll put it in at the end of the video. I can't remember what it was. So that's just all the phones covered. I'll keep these up actually. So next week we're going to be doing the just random tech that we like. So as I said earlier, I've got like most of my audio stuff that I'd like to talk about. Anything you'd like to talk about, Taylor, that you can come up with it, then we'll put that in as well. Have you got any ideas now? Just to entice the people?
Can't really think of anything.
Can't think of anything.
In the end.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, we shall see in a couple of weeks' time. If you'd like to tune in, then this one will probably be coming out on Friday the 21st. And then in 2 weeks' time, I'll see, because it'll depend on my timetable, but it should come out on the weekend. So keep your eyes and ears open for that. Make sure you like, not like, well, yeah, do like it. I don't think we've properly signed off. I'm going to have to edit this. Fuck's sake. No, I'll just redo my outro. Okay guys, so I think that's all for today, and we'll see you in the next one in a couple of weeks. Make sure you do subscribe and hit the notifications so you are notified when we upload, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. And well, I should be uploading some other stuff just anyway, because I want to get some more stuff up of things like Watch Dogs, got Halo going out pretty soon, and yeah, Taylor's got some Loot Crate things that are coming, and
first video up already.
Yeah, go check that one out if you haven't already. And have you got any like gameplay that you're going to be putting out? Any games that tickle your fancy?
I don't know yet, to be honest.
Fair enough. We'll find out.
Do things as I please.
Is that your motto?
Pretty much.
Do things as you please, right. So, that is it. So thank you for watching. It's goodbye from me.
See ya.
And it's goodbye from him as well.